Alrighty, good morning everybody. Gonna make this short and sweet. It is 5:15. We have just arrived at Big Break Marina out on the California Delta, probably the furthest west on the Delta that I fish or have typically fished. Today is summer bass fishing out on the California Delta, or at least that's the plan. It's hot. It is very hot. It is warming up tremendously out here in California. I think today's high is 107. We're gonna be going out there with 6 rods, 6 baits that I typically would pick for this time of year on the Delta. Of course, we've got some other ones in the box, but just to quickly run through what we're gonna be throwing in the months of July, August, even going into September for the summer hot months on the Delta. First off, gotta start with a frog. Frog is gonna be a player for sure throughout the summer, so frog. Same goes with another topwater bait, a walking bait, or even a popper, something for that early morning, low light conditions. And then a third topwater, a choppo or a buzz bait, something moving, something in line that these fish can chase. Number 4, gotta have a punching rod all year round for the Delta, but especially in the summer when this grass grows, this vegetation gets thick, and the fish get buried in those mats. Look for that shade with these extreme temperatures. You gotta have a punch rig. Number 5, this is a bait that hasn't really been great for me this year, but I think this summer it'll heat up again when these fish are chasing bait, chasing bluegill, even eating crawfish, and that is a chatterbait at number 5. And then number 6, something you can never discount. You always have to have with you just in case things get tough, but it's a spinning rod, and that's gonna be mainly a weedless drop shot or perhaps a Senko. 6 rods, 6 baits. Got a few extras in the box. Summer, California Delta, extreme heat. Gonna unload the kayak, get launched, probably get off the water by 12 or 1 o'clock. And as always, take you guys with me, see what happens, see what we can put together, see which baits work, which don't, and stay tuned. There we go. Oh man, didn't take long. Seemed bigger. Good slurpage. Not a bad one. It's got some weight to it. It's like a meaty summer bass. Alright, fish number 1 on the choppo. See, there's like so much bait around here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but gotta imagine when there's bait getting chased. I'm not sure if it's like a shad spawn or definitely a carp spawn going on. I'm not sure if there's like a shad spawn going on, but there's a ton of bait around here. So you gotta imagine topwater. It's just gonna be money when that situation happens. See, look at all this bait getting chased. Not sure why these fish aren't crushing everything we throw at them. There's the Delta though. These fish can be real picky as far as timing goes and tides. Started on a low tide. It's incoming all morning. This water should be rising, and man, you would have thought that just with the low tide, the top water would be pretty good. Not really the case. There's a chance they're way back in the stuff too. Way up in there. Oh boy. Oh wow. Finally. Man, that confidence meter was really starting to dip on me. And then that thing happens and boom, confidence is back up. That's a good one right there on the frog. That's how you want them to eat the frog. Yeah, nice chunky one. Got a nice belly on her. All right, fish number 2. Another topwater fish on the frog, up in the tulies in the shade. Tide's starting to move. Maybe these fish are a little more active. It's kind of been slow so far, but that is a welcome sign. Man, what a vicious strike that was too. Yeah, I mean, the other thing that could be the deal is with that low tide, even though it's morning, a lot of the open water looks good. These fish could be sucked to the cover with this water being so low. So one of the things I've been overlooking this morning. I like a low tide in the summer in the afternoon. I love a tide where we start at a high tide first thing in the morning and it drops, because you know, you can throw a lot of top water, moving stuff. Fish should be a little more spread out. And then as the sun gets up and the water drops, that's when they suck under the cover and in the tulies, and they're a little bit more predictable, and you can call them out with a frog or a punch. But we've kind of got the opposite of that today. Starting at a low, going to a high. So it'll be interesting to see if these fish on the high tide this afternoon still suck under the cover with these hot temperatures. A little through here, get to the other side. That's one way to get through the tulies. FYI, shout out Newport. This motor is like built for the Delta. You are blowing through grass. It does not get hung up in grass. You get through the tulies. It's one thing that I really like about the Newport Vessels motor is the small prop and the fact that you don't need a grass cutter, some kind of protector to bust through stuff. You can keep it as is, out of the box. It just blows through grass and anything really. It's pretty good for situations like that. Something tried to peck at it. Water's a little dirtier, so we switched to the white Chapo. See if that makes a difference. Maybe it did, I don't know. Not a big one, but a bite. Man, he hit like he was a lot bigger. Let's see if that color change made a difference. Dude, these are some really aggressive little fellas, right? Oh, easy. That's a dink, but I mean, look at the build on him. It's gonna be a quality fish someday, especially if he's eating like that. Dude's a killer. I don't dare turn the GoPro off, the front one, because as soon as I do, I get a bite. Or maybe I should turn it off. A little better. Yeah, man. That's the thing. Always good to play with the colors. This white is probably just a little more visible for him to see and track. A small keeper. Fun bite though. Call this the heart attack bait because I feel like every bite just takes you off guard and you're like, oh. I think we're gonna get a big one on this. I have a feeling we're gonna get a solid fish on this. Yeah, I mean, definitely bigger than that when I was talking about a solid fish, but I'm just getting a lot of confidence with this bait right now. You know what I mean? Getting a lot of confidence that, you know, once it does roll across a big one, we'll get her to bite. The little ones smash this bait though. It gives you like that split second thinking you got a giant on. Oh. Oh, they will keep. Dude. These fish definitely have some meat to them. Alright, move sides. Bite is slowed down. See if the change in spots will help. Oh, there we go. A better one. Dude, these fish are fighting pretty hard. Again, not the biggest fish in the world, but just, you know, meaty. Again, seemed a lot better. They're just girthy, you know? It's got those bellies, they got that power. Here, buddy. Come here. Okay. I'm getting a little better. There's Big Mama. Never mind. I thought it was Big Mama. Ugh. I thought she was Big Mama. The way she hit. Another chunk, but man, I thought that one was for sure 3-4 pounder. Another fat one though. Yeah, it just feels like a big one's coming, you know? It feels like it. I think it is. I think it is. Just got to keep casting, and eventually we'll run across a big one. Bunch of little bluegill right there. Tons of bluegill. Say, all those bluegill, had a little wind going on, that'd be chatterbait time. Man, like I said, if we had a little bit of wind, all these bluegill around, chatterbait would definitely be a good choice, good option. But since we don't have wind, the water's actually kind of clear. Let's try a little bluegill bait. Just to entertain it. Just to entertain it. We'll see. I'm still not convinced these fish are munching on bluegill. I mean, I'm sure they are, but the fish we're catching are definitely bait eaters, bait chasers. Can't hurt to try, even if we get some followers. Let's just kind of see what she looks like. Oh my God, that fish followed it right out. I didn't even see that fish. The bass just came out and looked at the gilly. I think our nail weight's just a bit much on this. I gotta chop some of this off. There we go. Let's see if that's better. That looks better. A little slower sink. Just had a big one follow. Look at the way that thing swims. That is so killer. Then you kill it. Oh my goodness. I gotta look at that again. Can I even like work it as a wake bait almost? Oh God. Man, when the bite's on for this bait, it is gonna just get hammered. And they might be still. Just might be around a bunch of small fish. Oh, see, they definitely check it out. Something hit it right there. That's big. I think we found a way to weed out the small ones. Oh my gosh. Yeah, lay on the mat, dude. Lay on the mat. Just lay right there. Oh, look at that mess. Oh my gosh, it worked. I love it when a plan works. See, you're getting the smaller fish with a little bait fish imitator, but bluegill eaters, they're a little different. They get a little bigger. She's a beaut. That is such a thick fish. Small mouth, small head, big body. Thank you, girl. That was awesome. I knew I saw something wake on it. I thought it was just like one of those dinks. Oh, had another solid one follow it. It's getting the bigger fish to come out, that's for sure. Oh, God. Another, yeah, 2-3 pounder came up. Just reeling it in too fast. Probably got to kill this more often. Another one. Not a giant 2-3 pounder though. Pulling a lot of these fish from underneath these mats. Might be time to start punching. Got that one. Little dangle. Yeah, see, these were the fish we were seeing. Follow the gilly out front of the mats. They weren't committing to it, but we could get them to show themselves. You know, solid. I'll say this, the fish are cooperating today. You know, we do these videos every so often. Bait selections based on the time of year, season, especially for the Delta. More often than not, they seem to be kind of picky. But that's what, 3 or 4 baits we've got bit on. Originally had a like a darker color bait on, but I know for this time of year, especially the last couple of years, this color, like a green pumpkin with some green flake in it, I don't know why. The water's a little clear and there's a lot of bluegill around. This color has been fantastic for me. A lot of confidence in it, a lot of confidence. And I think it just goes to show, even with that last bite, I mean, we had to dangle that bait for a little while. It wasn't a reaction. That fish saw that bait and it ate it eventually. Honestly, we're just not getting through right now. We need a bigger weight. It's 1.25 ounces, but I think we're gonna have to go up to the, yeah, we're gonna have to go to 1.5 ounces. Honestly, I'd probably go with 1.75 ounces, but I don't have any in the box. I just got this 1.5 ouncer. It's like when this wind pushes all this floating vegetation into an area, it just mats up so dense, so thick. It's hard to get through it, but I think this 1.5 ounces will be sufficient. Finally got one. I feel like I've been getting a lot of short strikes in the mats. Well, the tide, again, this is what we were curious about today, with the tide rising, not being low, with the sun, the heat itself actually pushed these fish under the mats, and I think we know our answer. Oh, no! Oh Oh God, I got schooled there. I got schooled. That one got me. Touche, sir. Got out muscled. Oh my God, that was a big one. That was a big one. Yeah. Oh, I don't think that was the one we missed earlier. It's right next to it. Yikes. Not a lot of frog bites, but man, the ones that are eating it are good. Gave them a mouthful of salad. Dude, I mean, look at how small their mouths are. Like, that is a tiny mouth, tiny head, but just a big old gut. I mean, God, you'd wonder what's in there. Crawfish, bait, bluegill, maybe a small bird. My God. Like, just meaty, muscly fish. Oh, it's a good bite today. Real good bite. You know, and unfortunately, not all summer days are going to work like this with everything seemingly working. But you can usually bet that one of these things will work at some point during the day. That's a bummer. Well, I guess we're not punching anymore. I hit the reel against my seat when I was turning around, bringing it to me, and it must have just knocked the plate off. And that really sucks, because I wanted to keep punching. Alrighty folks, it is about 1 o'clock and it is toasty. As expected in Northern California in the summer. That's why you get out there super early at sunrise, get that cooler morning temperatures, less boat traffic, get your fishing in, get off by 12, 1 o'clock, especially out on the Delta. You know, to recap the day, and I hate to end on a sour note, but after we lost our side plate to our punch reel, I wasn't feeling it. The fish this afternoon, with this heat, with this sun, definitely pushed under the mats, and I needed a punch rod. I needed a dedicated punch setup to get to those fish. And yeah, we probably could have frogged a few, but there weren't a ton of froggy looking areas. But you know what? I can't complain. It was a great day of fishing. Summer bass fishing on the California Delta. Quite honestly, I mean, spring's right up there too, but it's probably my favorite time of year to fish on the Delta because I get to use a lot of my favorite techniques. You know, top water, punching. You're essentially power fishing quite a bit. But today we started out with a little choppo. Got one fair fish to start and really went a long time without another bite. Ended up picking up the frog, throwing it around some shade pockets, and caught a nice one on the frog, but really not much other than those two fish. We covered some new water, and as soon as that tide started to move, we've had a few areas that there were some current breaks and there was some fish stacked up, and that bone choppo, the size 90, was the ticket. Got us a lot of bites, just wasn't getting the bigger bites. We did end up coming across an area that had a ton of panfish, ton of bluegill, and one of the baits we did not start out with, but in the box, was a Berkley gilly. New bait by Berkley, and something I've been really looking forward to throwing this year. I just haven't found the opportune time. Today, I thought there was a chance if we saw bluegill, if it was shallow, if there was a lot of grass vegetation, we'd throw that. And that was perfect. The presentation was perfect. It looked great in the water. I didn't know if it would get bit, but it didn't take us long to find out that we were getting followers and eventually a nice quality fish, big fish of the day. Choked the gilly, saw it wake right towards the bait, and she ate it. So that was awesome. First gilly fish, and you know, just a good confidence booster to throw that bait more this summer out on the Delta especially. But yeah, that is going to do it for the video today, guys. Summer bass fishing out on the California Delta. It's hot, it can be kind of miserable sometimes in these conditions, but if you can get out here early and the fish are biting, you can have a lot of fun catching them in some pretty fun ways and techniques. Stay safe out there this summer. Bring tons of water, hydrate, bring the proper clothing, sunscreen, take care of yourself, especially in these hotter summer months, and enjoy the fishing. As always, I thank you for watching, for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next video.